Go.
All right, hi guys. So today we're going to learn more about sugar balance. So in that we're going to learn also more about insulin, glucagon, and high fructose corn syrup. So I am Molly,
I'm Justin.
And I'm Brody.
and let's get started. All right, so blood sugar homeostasis. So what do we need to know about blood sugar homeostasis? Well, let's start off by naming the two main characters that play very important roles in regulating our blood sugar. Those two things are hormones. One is called insulin and the other is glucagon. Now, our body likes things a certain way. You can think of it like the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Goldilocks didn't like the first bed because it was too hard. She didn't like the second bed either because it was too soft. But the third bed was perfect. And it was perfect because it was right in the middle. In the same way, our body doesn't like it when our blood sugars are too high or too low. And we want our blood sugar to stay somewhere in the middle. Now, this diagram that you see is called a negative feedback loop. You can think of it like an infinity sign. No matter what, we should always be able to come back into the middle and to the other side with ease. Now, next up, our friend Brody can help us learn more about insulin and glucagon and what it does to help maintain a healthy blood sugar level.
Hi guys, so I'm going to talk about insulin. So what insulin is it's a hormone that lowers blood sugar after we eat food. So when we are in the fed state, insulin acts as a key so picture our cells. Insulin will act as a key to open the door to our cells so that our cells can absorb glucose. And next I'm going to talk about glucagon. And so what glucagon does is when the glucose is in your cells after insulin put it in there, glucagon's gonna release the glucose out of your cells so your body can use that glucose and that sugar for energy. This is gonna happen when you are in the fasted state. So if you haven't eaten for about 3 hours, this is how your body's gonna get energy. And then next, Molly's gonna explain a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so as Brody has said, you know, insulin is activated when we eat food. So when we eat breakfast, let's take toast for example. Those carbs or sugar floats around in our blood, increasing our blood sugar. Next, our body senses the rise in blood sugar. So what we want to do is lower that and bring it back to the normal levels. So then a part of our brain called the hypothalamus helps sends a signal to our liver to help put insulin into our blood to clean up the extra sugar, to bring that into our cells. Now we can move on to glucagon. Now, glucagon is opposite of insulin. It is activated, again, as Brody has said, when we are fasted or working out. Glucagon is there to help put sugar into the bloodstream when we are too low. So when we haven't eaten for a long time or when we're working out, this requires a lot of energy. And so our blood sugar can drop. And when that happens, again, our body notices the change and the hypothalamus sends a signal. This time, instead of sending the signal to the liver, it sends a signal to the pancreas, and the pancreas releases glucagon to help, open up the key to our cells to release sugar. Now, you might be wondering, why is this important? Well, our friend Justin can help answer that question.
So it is very important to know to fast between meals because if we don't, the sugar that is in our blood gets stored as fat. And if we snack a lot between meals, our body doesn't really get the time to break down these sugars and these carbs. So by fasting between meals, we get that time to break down those carbs and those sugars. And our body can actually begin to use that stored fat that we had from earlier as energy. Now I'm going to talk about high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is a sugar that makes a lot of your favorite foods taste really good, but unfortunately, it is not that good for you. It is in things like pop, chips, and cookies. And the bad thing about it is that it cannot be used as energy right away, and it is immediately stored as fat by the body. We have two livers here on the side. The top one is not very happy because it has to process a lot of these processed carbs and actually has to store them as fat. We have one on the bottom here that does seem to be very happy because it has a very balanced diet and does not have to process a lot of these carbs and store them as fat.